Now at 6 o'clock, transportation deal on delay. Why the Oregon Senate is waiting another 2 weeks to vote on a funding bill for the state's transportation system, while hundreds of ODOT jobs hang in the balance.
Plus, we're learning more about a firefighter who was detained by Border Patrol while he was fighting a fire up in Washington. Now he's sitting in the ICE detention center in Tacoma. Coming up at 6:30, what we've learned about his past and what his brother has to say about his arrest.
It's like they all planned out a route already or something.
Where are the Swifts? That's the question we're asking this morning. People are still hoping to see the migrating birds return to Chapman Elementary in Northwest Portland, even though they were a complete no-show last year. We'll take a look at where they may be going instead. The 6 o'clock hour of Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Wednesday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill, we know where they are. Right where they're supposed to be, getting ready to do a little weather and traffic for us.
Yeah, good morning. We're actually tracking a little bit of light rain for you folks down around Albany. There's just maybe a trace of rain. This would be really light stuff. Maybe it's borderline sprinkles in Philomath and Corvallis as well. So we're just south of Salem this morning. Right now, Salem is dry, but realize there are some raindrops to your south. So maybe some of you get a trace of rain in the coming hour or two. Temperatures, we look at our state capital, 67 degrees. We have a pretty sky over downtown Portland. Partly cloudy looking off to the east this morning from the Wells Fargo building. Warm outside, 68 degrees. Some cloudiness, kind of a mixed bag of it out the door at the bus stop in the 60s, sun up 6:35. Partly cloudy, all dry in Portland at lunchtime, 75. Now, about the time the kids get out of school is when we start to look at least for the possibility of some scattered showers and thunderstorms starting to pop or coming our way. We may stay dry today, but there is a rain chance a little bit later on with a high of 85. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's get you out the door with a quick look at the freeways across the region. There you can see down in the lower left-hand part of your screen, that's down in Wilsonville, the I-5 commute northbound there coming off the Boone Bridge, getting a little bit busier. We had an earlier report of a crash on the inbound Banfield near Lloyd Center. It looks like that's out of the way, so traffic is still rolling along okay on that side of town. And last but not least, door number 2 takes us up to Clark County. Getting busier at the Interstate Bridge, but so far, guys, our drive this morning is off to a speed limit clip early on our Wednesday morning commute.
Thank you, Chris. A vote to approve nearly $6 billion for transportation funding has stalled yet again in the Oregon legislature. The money would be used for road maintenance and preserving hundreds of ODOT jobs.
So that funding bill is really the sole reason that lawmakers are back in Salem this week for a special session. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from the KGW newsroom. Thomas, let's get to why we're waiting 2 more weeks for senators to vote.
Yeah, well, currently Senate Democrats may not have the votes to pass the bill. That's because Senator Chris Gorsuch is recovering from back surgery complications. So the Senate president wants to wait until he can return to Salem and vote on this legislation. Initially, the Senate was on track to vote on the bill today after it passed in the House of Representatives Monday, though this delay is yet another roadblock in the special session. On Friday, which was the first day of the session, there were not enough lawmakers present to have a quorum in the House until late in the night. ODOT workers tell us this pause creates more anxiety, especially since the vote looks to be razor thin.
There's a lot of people who could step up and make sure that there's a plan, and we're disappointed that that's not the answer.
I'm exhausted. I can't tell you the last time I slept well or ate something that didn't make me want to feel sick.
Nearly 500 ODOT workers are set to lose their jobs if the bill does not pass. Layoffs were supposed to begin in mid-September, though union leaders say Governor Tina Kotek delayed the start of those layoffs until October 15th. That is, if they do have to make cuts. That gives lawmakers more time to pass this bill, which contains nearly $6 billion from new taxes and fees. The Senate will reconvene and try again to pass the legislation in 2 weeks. Drew?
Thomas, let's talk more about that transportation bill. It will hike the state's transit payroll tax starting next year. So here's what that could mean for you. The tax funds transit services across Oregon. It's withheld from paychecks and currently sits at 0.1%. That's $1 out of every $1,000 earned. If passed, the tax would double to 0.2%, or $2 for every $1,000 earned. Lawmakers say the hike would bring in about $200 million to keep the transit system running.
Now to an update on Washington County's deflection program, which offers people drug treatment instead of fines or possible jail time. So the 6-month program started last September. As of August 27th of this year, 86 people have agreed to deflection. 37 are still active and 23 people have successfully finished the program. Washington County says that people got help finding shelter while in treatment. Over the next 6 months, Washington County will look into expanding the program.
Portland's newest overnight homeless shelter is officially open in the Pearl District despite plenty of pushback from the neighborhood and vandalism at the site this past weekend. This shelter is located at the corner of Northwest 15th and Northrop. It's operated by the Salvation Army with 40 beds available now, 100 beds expected by next month, and up to 200 beds by the end of the year. We continue to hear from people both for and against the shelter and its location.
People know that they have a place to stay, a bed to come to. They are not impressed upon to show up early and to stay within the neighborhood.
And the problem isn't people camping on the street necessarily. It is the drug crisis and all the craziness that comes with the drug abuse, the drug dealing, and the way to get money to buy drugs.
This is a low barrier shelter, by the way. That means people do not have to be sober to stay there.
In addition to his shelter goals, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson has even more plans when it comes to the city's homeless crisis. For starters, Mayor Wilson says that his goal to end tent distribution is mostly complete. He is also planning to increase street removing, nearing 100 rundown RVs per month. On top of that, he has set a benchmark of reuniting at least 14 homeless people with loved ones each week.
We're in the midst of the most ambitious emergency humanitarian strategy Portland has ever deployed in response to our homelessness crisis.
By Multnomah County's real-time count, there are more than 15,000 people experiencing homelessness in the county. Roughly half of them are considered unsheltered.
A Portland City Councilor is defending a trip that she and a group of 19 others are taking to Vienna, Austria this week.
Leaders say that the goal is to better understand housing solutions so they can be applied to Portland. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live from City Hall with the details.
That's right. Portland City Councilor Candace Avalos says the trip is not a vacation, but a chance for city leaders to study Vienna's models. Now, Avalos defended that trip, telling KGW social housing, which is prevalent in Vienna, may be the solution to affordable housing here in Portland. Avalos said she did not know off the top of her head how much in taxpayer dollars is going toward that trip. And a spokesperson for her office said they can't speak to questions about the cost. Now, in Portland, most housing is dependent on private developers. Because of that and rising costs to build, the price of rent fluctuates with the market. But some believe the trip is not a good use of city dollars.
I disagree. I mean, at the end of the day, we have budgets and we have discretion over them, and I use my budget as a way to enhance my work. I see this as doing exactly that. You know, I always joke about this, and I've actually talked to a lot of leaders about this, that sometimes we just get really stuck in our ways because we don't open our minds to other opportunities.
Now, when the councilors return, they're set to go to a local housing conference. Well, they'll talk about what they've learned, and they'll also create a report based on their findings. Drew, China.
Corey Johnson reporting live for us this morning. Thank you, Corey. The Evergreen School District has canceled school again today as paraeducators, bus drivers, and other staff continue to strike. The union has agreed to have its members vote on the district's last and final offer tomorrow. If members reject the contract, as the union recommends, the union says that they'll continue to strike until the district addresses their core concerns.
All right, let's get to a tradition in Northwest Portland now for decades. We're talking about watching the migrating swifts. You see them right here swirling around the chimney above Chapman Elementary. Well, last year, the birds basically abandoned this routine, so they opted to migrate to other locations instead of Chapman. And now the question is, are they going to come back this year? We saw some people at the school last night hoping it will happen, but so far, it hasn't.
And even though they're not communicating with each other, or maybe they are, but I don't know, but I'm pretty sure how they know how to, they all fly in the same direction, even though they don't, it's like they all planned out a route already or something.
If you see swifts roosting in your neighborhood, the Bird Alliance of Oregon would like to know about it. You can text the word swifts to the number we have on your screen right there, 503-226-5088, and we will text you back with a link to a form that the Bird Alliance would like you to fill out.
Your time now is 6:09. Headed over to Rod Hill. What do you have behind you? Chinook, I can't see.
No, it's a big monitor, actually. It's a big television monitor.
Wise guy.
Why is this guy?
Wise guy.
It's 6 a.m., Ron.
Wise guy.
Where's your nice hat?
It is our Chinook Winds Casino resort camera, China, from Lincoln City. And it does show cloudy skies. The beach kind of mostly cloudy overall today, we think. And later on, there could be a shower pop, but most of the time here at the beach, it will simply be dry. 58 degrees right now. Pretty shot from the Chehalem tasting room out in Sherwood of partly cloudy skies looking out over the vineyard. 66 is the early morning number there. Winds are light. Cool spot on the map looks to be up in Battleground, 61 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Salem's at 67, and we have light rain showers down around Albany and Corvallis showing up on the radar right now, so realize that is down that direction. Here's our Futurecast model. Just shows cloudiness occasionally being tossed up our direction. So again, kind of partly sunny overall. Here's 5 o'clock this afternoon. Thunderstorm over the Cascades south of Bachelor. This does show a shower popping again in the Mid-Valley and making its way toward Newport. Although it shows Portland as being dry, we believe it's at least a possibility that we could see scattered showers and maybe even a thunder shower mixed in a little bit later today and this evening. Again, that may or may not happen, but just keep that in mind if you're going to be out and about later today. Temperatures will be a little bit down from yesterday. Yesterday, PDX at 90. Today, I have us at 85. 60s at the coast. The best chance of thunderstorm activity overall will be the southern third of our state today up into central Oregon. This shows Bend at 86. Still hot, upper 90s from the Dalles out into Pendleton this afternoon. All right, 85 today in Portland. Tomorrow, all dry, 89. Friday, we've taken the rain chance out, now going partly cloudy, 84. But it's looking increasingly likely that there could be up to about 1/10 of an inch of rain shower activity during Saturday, a day that looks to be overcast, 74. Sunday looks to be dry, and then a second shot of some rain coming in on Monday with a high of 73 degrees. So some cooler weather just a few days away, guys.
Thank you, Ron.